morning, Panthers, and welcome to this very special episode of PTV. Something strange is certainly going on here, and it's not just me. I'm Mrs. Strange, theater teacher and aspiring news anchor. I am very excited for this opportunity and working with the excellent team here at PTV.
You know, Mrs. Strange, a certain Doors song comes to mind. I know. I have to admit, I've always thought it would be cool to be a news anchor, but never thought in my wildest dreams I'd ever do it. So I'm really grateful for this opportunity.
I think we're ready for the audition to begin. Right, Mr. Erickson?
Let's go.
CASP testing started yesterday and will continue through next week for all juniors. Last names beginning with M through Z will test next Monday and Tuesday, May 23rd and 24th. Makeup exams will be on May 25th and 26th. Once you complete your test, you will be excused from school for the remainder of the day.
Next year, we're offering select classes that will occur mostly online with in-person meetings 1 to 2 times per week. Students will use Canvas to complete the remaining assignments through asynchronous learning. Students take these hybrid classes are eligible for unscheduled periods during the traditional school day. If you are interested in one of these classes, see the link on the S'more newsletter Mr. Lapierre sent out this week or see your counselor.
Newberry's annual cardboard boat races are coming up. 16 teams will race their hand-built creations across the pool and see who can outlast the rest. The event will be held on Wednesday, May 25th after school. There will be food on the grill and lots of fun. Newbury Park High School has a rich history in this community. For over 50 years, students have been coming to this campus to get their education.
That's right. Some of your parents, maybe even your grandparents went to this school. Here is the incomparable Mr. Johnson with a little bit more about our school's history.
Good morning, Panthers. This is Mr. Johnson with the Panther Window. As a history teacher, I thought it was important to do a little history lesson this morning. This September will be the 55th anniversary of the opening of Newbury Park High School. And as you can see, back in 1967, the school that was starting out is much different than the one you attend today. There's no D building, there's no swimming pool, there's no GAR, no weight room, no houses on the other side of Reno and Lesser. There's no Borchard Park, there's no pepper tree. Contrast that to what we have today, which is our school filled in, except for our new softball field. We now have a stadium and all the buildings that you are familiar with. One of the other things that's really fun about thinking about the history of a school are the people you go to school with and what will happen to them. I went to school with a young woman named Belinda Kercheski, who later changed her name to Belinda Carlisle, and then she went on to become the lead singer of the iconic 1980s group, the Go-Go's. It'll be really fascinating for you to think about who in your class or the people you attended with will achieve fame and notoriety once they graduate from Newbury Park High School. Lastly, as a teacher, I feel like I ought to give you some homework. Can you name the 8 current teachers at Newbury Park High School who are graduates of Newbury Park High School? Tune in next week for the answer, and I'll give you a hint. I'm one of them. Thanks, guys.
Well, this has been fun. It's time for us to pass on the baton to another great set of teachers here on campus.
Here are a couple of our fantastic English teachers, Ms. Denchfield.
And Ms. Denchfield, wait, there's a mistake in the teleprompter.
Oh, it's okay, Mr. Erickson. You read it right. It's time for us to head back to class.
A little power posing to start your morning. We're Miss Denchfield. Let's continue with today's announcements. The senior picnic is next week on Thursday, May 26th. Seniors will need to check in here at 10 a.m. at school. You will return back to campus by 4:30. The permission form for the picnic and grad night are due today. Email Mrs. Adams if you have any questions at cadams@conejousd.org.
With summer quickly approaching, some of you may be looking for a summer job or internship. Our College and Career Center is a perfect place to start. It has a variety of jobs and internships from various companies. All you need to do is go to the NPHS homepage, click Academics, scroll down to the College and Career Center link, and select Jobs, Internships, and Scholarships. Once there, you will find a variety of employees looking for help from students just like you.
Listen up, seniors. Today is the last day to nominate your favorite teacher for the graduation keynote speaker. To nominate a teacher, go to the latest Senior Source newsletter and fill out the Google form. He's the familiar face you see each and every day coming to campus. He may be talking about the Dodgers or rushing you off to class. He's never in too big of a hurry to say hi, and it seems like he's always here.
From campus supervisor to Panther pit leader to baseball coach, Rick Sagerman embodies Panther pride. Here's Michael and Logan with an exclusive look at the one we all know and love, Sagerman.
It is important for students to feel safe when attending school here at MPHS. But your safety is not possible without the help of our yard supervisors and staff members, especially one of those staff members who most of you already know.
I'm Rick Sagerman, and I've been at Newbury Park High School for 12 years. My main job, I'm not sure I have a main job, it's school security and other duties as assigned.
Most people know Sagerman for being very funny, but what makes him most important is his ability to keep the school and the campus safe.
I'm Sagerman. Try to keep my eye on and everything that goes on. You know, from people that I don't recognize to cars that might drive by in the back that I don't recognize to just staying aware of everything that's going on.
I also spoke to one student about why Sagerman gives a positive impact on this school.
Sagerman, I mean, he just helps the school out basically any way he can. He's just a great guy. You know, if you get sick and you need a ride to the office so you can get picked up, I mean, he's going to be the one to drive you there. I mean, he just does anything that anyone at the school needs, and without him, we wouldn't be the same.
I love the kids, and this is an opportunity for me to say goodbye to all the seniors because it's almost over after 4 years of being with me. So I'm going to miss everybody, and good luck to everybody.
Reporting for PTV alongside Logan Eby, I'm Michael Looshorn.
Oh, I just forgot. Sadly, I have a meeting that I don't want to go to.
It's fine, I can just pretend to be you. No one has noticed before. One of the perks of being a twin who teaches the exact same class.
Now I can go listen to Harry Styles' new album.
Wait, we have the rest of the episode to film. I know who to call. You've seen them around, hanging out together a whole lot. That's because they're married.
Here are Mr. and Mrs. Ellis.
G'day Panthers, I'm Mrs. Ellis.
And I'm Mr. Ellis. Let's jump right back into today's top stories.
Prom is tomorrow night at the Odyssey, Granada Hills. Students must provide their own transportation to and from the prom. The doors will open tomorrow night at 7 and close at 8:30. Students cannot come and go once they've entered. Students can leave at any time, but re-entry will not be permitted.
This past Saturday, the Special Olympic Games returned to Newbury Park High School after a 2-year hiatus due to the pandemic. Students from MPHS and across the county competed in track and field events and visited the various activity booths. A big shout out and special thanks goes out to all student and staff who volunteered to make this such a great event.
The MPHS Athletics Department will be having a fundraiser to benefit all student athletes. Exo Urgent Care is partnering with MPHS to provide athletic clearances for next year. The clearances are only $40 and all proceeds will go to the MPHS Athletic Department. This special fundraiser is only today and tomorrow from 1:30 to 8:30 p.m.
And speaking of sports, here's the man, the myth, the legend, Coach Klein, here to give us a recap on the year in review for Panther sports.
Hey now, Panthers. Mr. Klein here with your 2021-2022 sports recap. In our fall sports, girls tennis qualified for the D2 playoffs. Boys water polo qualified for the D2 playoffs as well and made it to the second round. Girls volleyball qualified for the D2 playoffs, made it to the second round as well. Our girls cross country team was Marmani League champion with Samantha McDonald taking first. They were also CIF SS champion, Samantha McDonald taking first in that as well, and they were second in the state. Boys cross country, Marmani League champion was Colin Salmon as the individual, and we won the team championship as well. We were the team CIF champion with Colin Salmon taking first in the individual. We were also the team state champion with Colin taking the individual title as well. Colin was named the Gatorade National Distance Runner of the Year. in a majorly prestigious honor. In the wintertime, girls soccer qualified for the D3 playoffs, boys soccer qualified for the D4 playoffs, wrestling qualified for the D6 playoffs and made it to the quarterfinals. We had 2 Marmoni League champions, Caden Terry at 160s and Jack Yasui at 220s. During the spring, boys tennis qualified for the D1 playoffs. Boys lacrosse also qualified for the D1 playoffs. Girls lacrosse was Marmoni League champion and qualified for the D1 playoffs. In girls swim, Charlotte Sams was the 200 IM and 100 breaststroke Marmoni League champion. In boys track, our league champions were Aaron Salmon in the 800, Colin Salmon in the 1600, Lex Young in the 3200, and Christian Merrill in the high jump. Our CIF champion for boys track was Aaron Salmon in the 800. Girls track league champion Sam McDonald in the 3200, the 1600, and the 800, and Sam won the 3200 in the CIF championships. Finally, we want to send a huge shout out to another amazing teacher, Mr. Bateman. He is the teacher that has provided some of the incredible sports images you've seen throughout the year. Thank you, Mr. Bateman. Off to the Ellises.
All right, team, it's time for us to pass the baton on to some fresh new faculty faces.
Next up, she's one cool cat in the history department.
And he's a walking answer key who's never met a math equation or Canvas issue he can't solve.
Here are Mrs. Coull and Mr. Weingarden.
Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Ellis, for that lovely intro. And I'm joined today by my esteemed colleague, Mr. Weingarden. Happy Friday, Mr. Weingarden.
Happy Friday, Mrs. Coull.
Any big weekend plans?
You know the usual, paddleboarding, e-biking. It's what I do.
Kind of Michael-ish. Okay, so the class of 2022 began the year with a senior sunrise in the stadium, and now they will end the year with a senior sunset in the quad on Tuesday, June 7th. There will be prizes and snacks, and you will have the opportunity to sign yearbooks, play backyard games, listen to music, watch the sunset, and see the senior slideshow. It will be one of the last times the class of 2022 is together as a class, so don't miss it. Activities start at 6:30, and a photo ID will be required.
Whoa, good job, Mrs. Coull. That was a lot of words. And speaking of the senior slideshow, we need your pictures. We want to make the best senior slideshow ever, but this can only happen if all seniors participate. You can submit up to 5 photos, but be sure to include the names of each student in each photo. If you have any questions, email nphsclass of22@gmail.com.
You have one last chance to check out our incredible strings program this year. The theme for this year's Strings Pop Concert will be soundtrack music. Come check out a wide variety of movie music on May 31st. That's the Tuesday after the long Memorial Day weekend. The concert will start at 7 p.m. in the PAC. Students and staff enter for free. We teachers become teachers to make an impact. We love teaching, and we love at least some of our students. Many of us feel like this is our calling in life, and we cannot imagine doing anything else.
But even among us teachers, some just rise to the top. And when you see them, you know that is what they were put on this earth to do. Here's Jillian and Sienna with one such teacher.
Many teachers work hard to make their community better. One of those outstanding teachers here at NP is Ms. Alvarez, who's very deserving of this award.
The main reason I wanted to become a teacher was because I love working with kids. I love that I could have a positive influence, and I love that I learn from every experience I've ever had. We have 3 classes, and the 3 of us, I'm kind of the lead person for that program because I've been here the longest. So I have the most cognitively challenged students on campus. So the way I run my classroom is teaching them skills so that they can be successful in the community. I've been in this district for 15 years, but it's all been special ed, and I love it.
Mrs. Alvarez not only helps a lot in the classrooms here at school, but also supports our district alongside her students.
We do a lot of things to help the special ed community by educating the regular community. And we do things in the community, like we'll go cheer at the finish line at a 10K run. We do our garden, and we bring in community gardeners to work with our kids and work with other groups. We go out and work in the community at different places in Newbury Park and Thousand Oaks. The other programs that I do that I am responsible for is I sponsor Key Club, and I sponsor National Honor Society, and National Honor Society sponsors Special Olympics. And there's a couple of rewards. One reward is like seeing the growth of the kids, seeing them do something they've never done before. But the other growth is when I have regular ed students come in BTAs, and then they turn around and become teachers in special ed. Knowing that I inspired someone to do the same thing I'm doing is a really big reward.
Reporting for PTV, we're Sienna Harris and Jillian Abba Gonzalez.
Well, that is all we have for today, and we hope you've enjoyed this special episode. I'd like to end with a few words of advice. Kids, go to bed earlier, get more sleep, put down your phone, and pick up a book.
I couldn't agree with you more, Mr. Weingarden. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and shout out to my U.S. history class. I adore you guys. Have a great one.